It was a chilly, dark morning, like any other morning in the winter months. A layer of thick white snow covered the ground and all the ecosystem within, and the air during the cold morning air grew colder. On this particular day, everyone had set their alarms to ring at an earlier time due to the most vital session held every year without fail. During the year, if an individual had turned 18 as the clock points midnight, which indicates an eve of the new year, they could identify their soulmate positioned in front of them. The individual saw a hologram version of the soulmate, and the name would appear boldly written in black writing on the back of the hand to be seen by everyone. Therefore, each person would find the love of their life through the process. On December 31st, when less than 24 hours, all people who are 18 years were to discover their soulmates. Clement Campion was one of the young people around the world who identified their better half. Clement was excited to which person would spend the rest of his life, and also scared. The person the universe would pair him with remained a mystery. He did not know whether the love of his life would be human, mermaid, a vampire, a hybrid, a shapeshifter, or a sorcerer, since there were many supernatural beings in their world. Being a cold morning, Clement made the struggle and tiring walk through the white morning snow as the snowflakes fell softly from the sky and joined the ones that had already lost. Clement arrived at his friend's place to take a hot shower since Q cut off the heating bill due to the pending bills. Isaac's mother insisted the boys take breakfast before leaving the house. Isaac's mom happened to be both a dragon hybrid and a vampire, and his dad was a dragon hybrid. Isaac and Clement approached the center of the city, whining, "I am still certain if I want to meet my soulmate." Clement hesitated, making Isaac gasp. For the past 3 years, the boys had been fantasizing about how they would meet their better halves. They were both excited that by the end of the day, they would know their soulmates. Everyone was in a festive mood since Christmas had arrived in a few days. A large number of people had reached to help with the event's preparations. All species from each family roamed freely. One of them happened to be the vampire prince by the name Yves de Couteau. He signaled to his friend and told him they should leave the event since he looked like the odd one out without a nice suit as the majority. "No, please don't leave. Remember the savings I told you about it will cater for our clothes." His friend Isaac shut him quickly. Clement smiled at his friend and thanked him for being so kind. The event was almost ready, and all the 18-year-olds had changed into their lovely outfits. Clement was laid in bed thinking about how his soulmate would be like, whether he would stay with him for all eternity and leave him the way her father left her mother. He did not notice a door is open, and her mother complained that she had been knocking on the entrance without an answer. Her mom told him to take care of the event. Everyone at the party were well dressed. There was laughter and shouting all over the place, illustrating people's happiness and joy about the occasion and finding their soulmates. Everybody turned back to the massive clock and started counting 10 to 1. When the process began, Clement was not seen in the room, and his friends wondered where he had disappeared. Clement woke up in a cold, dark room covered with blood. He ran to the door, trying to escape, and he felt someone grabbing his hand. When she turned it on, the lights turned off, and she could believe the creature that was standing before him. The beast had red eyes, long canine teeth, and pale skin. "My name is Yves de Couteau. Please, I am sorry for hurting you. I never meant to do so," the creature said with hesitation and sadness in his eyes. "Please let me go back to my friends. Please do not hurt me. I will not tell anyone about what happened," Clement cried. Yves explained that he had never hurt any human being, But despite liking their blood, he found himself doing so because his sister had tricked him the previous night into drinking blood she brought. After tasting the blood made him stronger and craved for more. That's why he kidnapped him from the event and unconsciously took him to that room. On the other side of the room, the event was still taking place and people were still counting the clock, whereby they were at 9 seconds to the next minute that was supposed to change the lives of many teenagers around the world. Isaac's eyes were still roaming in the room, wondering where his friend Clement disappeared, to which it was impossible since Clement had no supernatural powers. 9, 10, people shouted with joy. In the room where Clement and the vampire were, noises from the outside were heard, people screaming with joy. Immediately, the vampire changed into his natural form. He looked so handsome with a well-built body, nice hair, fair skin, and a killer smile. Clement was startled and could not believe what he just saw. The guy standing in front of him is the same guy he had seen in his vision since he was young. He was the dream guy. They both gazed at each other. Cold air filled in the room. Clement tried to flick fall, and Eve hold him on his chest to prevent him from falling. "I love," whispered Eve. "I love you too," Clement whispered back. "Please forgive me, and I have always seen you in my dreams too. You are my soulmate. I will love you to eternity. I forgave you already. I know if you were a lousy vampire, you would have. I will not be breathing right now," Clement answered back to the vampire. Consequently, they both kissed, and it was love at first sight. Vampire found his soulmate, who was human and happened to be his victim.